We know less about trauma bonds than we think we do. Here are 6 areas that are poorly understood. The first is why people stay after learning that their partner is dangerous. And it's more than just the intermittent reinforcement and learned helplessness. It has to do with the opioid-like connection, the bonding survivors experience neurologically and emotionally that tethers them to their abuser. The second poorly understood area is the way that early relationship trauma primes people to form trauma bonds later in life. How those of us who struggle with certain types of attachments really seem to be more vulnerable, more susceptible to a toxic relationship, particularly when there's CPTSD or PTSD. The third is why the body seems to have almost an involuntary loyalty to the abuser. It's almost like we've been imprinted with this person and stay stuck even long after the relationship is ended. And it's poorly understood what has happened at a neurological, physiological level that connects us to these individuals. The fourth is the role of cognitive dissonance and its way it fragments and shatters our sense of self, causing an internal battle about what we believe and know about our partners. Are they cruel or are they loving? And we end up feeling so confused that it gets us stuck in rumination and in an emotional form of paralysis. It's not well understood how cognitive dissonance deepens this trauma bonding to the abuser, making it very difficult to make clear and decisive decisions. We also know that narcissistic or psychopathic individuals weaponize their victims' vulnerabilities. So it's not just the reinforcement cycles, but there's actually a deliberate form of manipulation to attack and utilize the attachment in a worse way to create a connection that feels intimate, but it's actually pseudo-intimacy. And we don't really understand how this form of cruelty and manipulation deepens the trauma cycle, but we know that it does. And number 6, it's poorly understood how to actually break the bond. Yeah, a lot of us think that it's simply just having more education or going no contact, but there's actually a lack of consensus of which approach works the most effectively for the long-term emotional detachment. So that's why it's so difficult to break these entanglements, is because we really don't have a reliable treatment method that reduces that emotional pull that you feel after you leave these toxic relationships. Are you surprised to learn that trauma bonding is still that poorly understood? And which of these 6 areas have you been the most impacted by?